You know, there comes a point in every man's life when he has to choose to settle down, when he finally finds his sweetheart, when he finally finds the thing that brings him fulfillment and joy. Today's day and age happens probably in their 30s, 40s, sometimes 50s, maybe even later. I've been here in Taiwan for about 5 years, and I figured it's finally time to settle down. So please, with great pleasure, it is time I introduce you to my sweetheart, the 2023 Honda Rebel. Hello, gorgeous. I met my soulmate about a month ago at the Honda dealership, and the guy who worked there, I wish I knew his name, so I'm just gonna call him Honda Guy, was super helpful with everything from insurance to purchasing to anything I really needed. He was a huge help. This is normally when I would tell you about all the differences between, I don't know, a dealership here and anywhere else, but this is new for me. I've never done this before. This is uncharted territory, but I had a lot of fun, and being in a Taiwanese Honda dealership was pretty interesting. Did he say, is this mine?
Yeah, this is your bike, bro.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Have you seen your number?
No?
6969.
Nice. Great.
Glory, did you arrange the cheerleaders to bring the keys and the strippers?
Huh?
No, get them for your red plate.
Yeah, my next $1 million I make.
How does it feel to be standing next to the new love of your life?
Doesn't feel like it's mine.
What color did you go for? Is this like is it got like a special color? The name?
Black.
Look. 只能把它反转。
是警察不能摸我的握。
牵不走。
谢谢。
Wow.
Rather be riding my Honda, which is ironic because I'll be riding my Honda.
这个后面可以带几个美女
啊？
就是一个 ，OK， 就是一个而已。他们要排队。
Anybody have $10? Hate to ask.
So this is a part ownership in the motorcycle. Love it.
Do I look like Ewan McGregor?
Yeah, it's kind of adventure-y style. It's like African style, desert style.
跟头发颜色很漂亮。那天穿我就觉得跟他头发颜色一样。
Is it broke?
I'm thinking about selling it, so if anyone wants a 2023 Honda Rebel. I'm going to ride around Fengjian Night Market, which is an area here in Taichung that is full of tourists. Not an area I really come to all that often because I've been here too much. And I should come here more often because I obviously love spending all my time sitting in traffic around tons of people, red lights. But it is a nice area to ride through. And not an area you can ride very fast, so it's pretty safe, you know. It's a nice place to take the bike, get used to traffic, get used to riding this thing at slow speeds, but it's been a month, I'm pretty used to it. And I gotta say, I love being on this thing. I love the feeling it gives me. It feels like there's a piece of me that was missing that I got back, and so I'm happy I bought this thing. And one of the questions I got on Instagram from my buddy Lucas, another YouTuber up in Taipei, was what made me buy this, despite the fact that I'm gonna be a full-time YouTuber soon. I quit my job, and so I have no money. Money is hard to come by as a YouTuber because finances are very, very volatile. Basically, you don't know when your next paycheck's going to be. You don't know, it's not a monthly salary. It depends on when sponsors come in, and that's kind of a scary prospect. So why would I drop this much money on a bike? And the real reason is just I need a hobby. I need something to do. And riding motorcycles has always been something I love. It's always been something I've been passionate about. And it's something I kind of have to have. I can't believe I went this long without one. It makes me feel more complete as a person. I do all my best thinking on a bike. I'm more creative on a bike. I think of all my videos on a bike. I'm more calm on a bike. I just feel a lot happier on this thing. And that's even like without even getting to all the weird attention it gets. And no, it's not attention from women. Women aren't jumping over this bike, you know. It's mostly men and kids. Kids love this thing. Yeah, as you can see, riding through this many people is a bit harrowing. I'm allowed to do it. This is a road. It's just full of people, and so I'm just gonna wear out my clutch doing this. But yeah, I just love the way this feels, and that's why I spend so much money on it. And speaking of money, I know if you are a North American, you're going to have a much different reaction to this bike because this is technically a beginner bike, quote unquote, in North America, and it is. It's a cheap bike. It's only, I don't know, 6 or 7 grand US if you bought this in the States. But here in Taiwan, it's a lot different because international bikes are taxed quite a lot here in Taiwan. And so this bike is 300,000 US dollars, which is close to like 10,000 US or something. I don't know what the exact is. I'll put it at the top corner of the screen. But yeah, what that means is if you're going to spend that much money on a motorcycle, because this bike isn't worth that much in most countries, but it is here, that means you really have to want to ride. You can't just kind of be iffy about it. You have to, you know, you have to really want this. You know, if you're someone who's thinking about getting a bike, I would say get something smaller, not something this big. This is a real financial commitment. One, I've saved enough to, you know, I'm lucky enough to be able to afford it. I stopped drinking back in October, and I've been able to save a lot of money doing that, and so that's why I was able to buy this thing, and I'm comfortable doing that. It's something I almost feel like I need. It's almost something that's sort of a part of me. I love the way this bike makes me feel. I love being on it. I love riding it. I've already taken it up to Taipei. I filmed none of that, by the way. I don't know why. I think it's one of those things where it's like, I had to decide what parts of my life I want to enjoy for myself and what parts I actually want to film. That was one of those things I just wanted to enjoy for myself, and it was a great ride, but I'll definitely film more of that. Oh, what a machine. Let's stop here and grab some petrol. Oh man, what are they blowing all over the place? I don't know if that's going to get all over my camera, but I think they're blowing like water or something to keep it cool. 95加满. Hey.
200可以吗？还继续讲？
可以，200可以。
好，这样就好。好，谢谢。
谢谢。
稍等一下哦。
谢谢。Nice. All filled up. Ready for the rest of my ride. I just realized this guy isn't even going. He's parked here. God damn it. Waiting for nothing. You know, I was watching a video. I was back in China, and I couldn't believe the energy I had, the youth I had back then. It was kind of, I'm almost a bit sad that I'm not like that anymore. And I think a huge part of that, the fact that I don't ride motorcycles anymore. I think, honestly, I think that made me a little bit depressed that I didn't have anything to ride. So I was listening to myself talk, and I mean, I was swearing like a sailor, but I just had so much energy. I was so excited to make that video. I was so just happy to be there. And it kind of took me aback because I was like, that's me? It sounded like a totally different person. And I was living in China, a place where I think I was having a lot of fun, but I wasn't nearly as happy there as I am here. So that made me kind of sad. And then I listened to myself on this bike here in Taiwan, and I was still like, I was just way less energetic, just kind of being very down in the dumps, and I'm not exactly sure why. I think I was just a bit stressed out about, you know, it was the first time riding a bike, and I decided to make a moto vlog out of it. But now, Jesus, this thing put a smile on my face. So I honestly think riding this motorcycle is like a cure for depression for me almost. All right, let's give her a bit of the beans here. Ah, that's fun. Although it is, you know, being here in Taiwan, it's kind of like all these horses and nowhere to gallop type of thing. It's a lot of red lights and a lot of traffic. But one thing I mentioned in my video back in China was that I drove like an a-hole, basically. And I still drive pretty aggressively. It's still Taiwan, but I definitely don't drive as much like an a-hole, simply because Taiwanese people don't drive like a-holes. Not like they do in China anyway, so you kind of have to adapt to the driving style of wherever you are, you know. Taiwanese people are a lot more, I mean, it's still, I complain about the riding here a lot, the driving here a lot, but they're a lot more careful on the roads than they are in China. Doesn't mean I still can't have a little bit of fun. Not a big engine by any stretch of the imagination. It's still got so much more power than any other scooter or motorcycle that's usually popping around Taiwan, you know, and so it still feels like a lot of fun. And I think a large part of that is perspective, you know. Like here it feels fast, whereas I guess in other countries it wouldn't be that fast, but I don't care. I'm still happy I have this. I guess at the end of the day, I consider this almost a gift to myself for finally turning this channel into something I can do full time. It's so exciting. It's not something I ever thought possible. And if I work hard enough and I can focus enough, I can actually do this. I can make this my job. I can make this business something that I can financially work off of instead of teaching. I've said it before, I still love teaching and I can always go back. I think it's normal. People in their 20s, their 30s like me work, you know, 12 hours a day to try and make something of themselves, and that's basically what I've been doing, especially over the last 6 years, having you know, a full-time job and this channel to run. MT09, that's nice. I always thought I went to university to be a teacher, to work in kindergartens, to work with kids. That's just what I thought I was destined to do forever, is just be a teacher. And so it's exciting for me to make a shift like that.
From teaching 8 hours a day to more of this, the planning, editing, shooting, subtitling, meeting with agents and clients, all of that. It's part of making the videos so I could be with you guys more often. So thank you guys so much, because this would not be possible without you guys subscribing and liking and just being with me over the years. So thank you guys so much for watching. Huge thanks to my Patreons too for their continued support. And yeah, I just don't know what else to say other than thank you. So all of these years here in Taiwan have come up to this moment of buying that motorcycle, making me just a little bit happier. Catch you guys next week for another video. Bye bye.